Welcome to the Fans Ed Sports Show. Talk about the X's and O's. Talk and break down for the success of each team.
Slow your roll.
Whether he has something to do with it or not, we are adding that to the clock.
No team gonna freaking run the ball like that. That's challenging your manhood.
Not too much.
People still remember that.
So look, I don't need to hear anything from you, Mike.
It's been a crazy week for college football.
They value seniority.
When they're looking at the schedule, that's a tough schedule. Go beat everyone.
You already know.
Let's go.
You already know.
Welcome to the Fans Ed Sports Show, hosted by your boy Cleveland Mike and your boy Cam, aka Truther, and produced by Walt K Disney. They will not be with us today on this show. Maybe they might tap in later, but right now, what I need y'all to do is hit that like button, man. Help us move on up. Hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And make sure you're following us on all Best Damn Media platforms, man, as we're going to be bringing y'all content all off season. We are rounding back up, coming back to you guys, man. So this is going to be the Fans Edge kind of Ohio State edition, man. Ohio State right now has that off-season momentum as we go into the 2024 season. Now, there's other things that's going around college football. We got to talk about the little Tennessee thing, man. Tennessee got hit with some NCAA violations again, right? And we're sitting here like, man, how could this happen? Well, NCAA and Tennessee look like they're going to be taking this battle to court. So we'll just wait till all the dust settle and we'll figure all of that stuff out. We're not going to make too many speculations because right now Tennessee is just saying, we haven't really received anything from the NCAA right now. So we'll sue them if they want to talk about NIL and pay for play because that's what NIL is, man. Suck it up. It is what it is. This is what we got to deal with. NCAA left us in the wild, wild west. And then also, how can you sit here and enforce some rules that you really haven't governed? You really didn't create. We had to get the government in on this. So NCAA might be standing on some shaky foundation right there, guys. But another one that we got to talk about is that team up north. They have a new coach in Sharon Moore, man. First colorblind coach in the history of college football, man. He does not see color. So this is the first one that we have out here. Jim Harbaugh leaves, goes to the LA Chargers and says, hey, screw my alma mater. All the guys that I had, I'm just going to take them and y'all going to have to rebuild, man. Make sure y'all leave some comments. Join the discussion right here, man. We are here all night right now, man. So, Ohio State, they got some coaching additions. We can get into it. I think we talked about it before, but you know, Ohio State, Jim Knowles said, hey, if I'm the head coach of the defense, I need to get my guys in here. Perry Eliano, yes, he developed, but I need to get my guy in here. Perry Eliano isn't doing well on the recruiting trail. Let me get a Matt G in here, a younger guy as well. Right now, Matt G is an unknown. We're going to find out what he can be, and he's at Ohio State. So we hope that he can be elite, bro, because that's what we are expecting. We've been very critical right here talking about how we don't want these guys, these guys just learning on the job here at Ohio State. You should already come to Ohio State and be elite. So we're hoping that that's where Matt G can take us. And then you got the Bill O'Brien hire. Now, I'll say this. I was one of the first people who criticized the Bill O'Brien hire. But I'll say this as well. When you think about it, if he's going to be our Kevin Wilson, that's a great thing. Now, if he can also take some things from his playbook, his strengths, and then also mirror those with Ryan Day's strengths, why can't this offense be even better than what it has been as well, man? I think that these are two great offensive minds who are going to be able to help each other out tremendously. So I mean, until, some wacky stuff start happening, I'm on board with this hire. I kind of been talked into it. I mean, I'm not going to say I've been talked into it. I had to sit back and let the emotions just get out the way, right? And actually look at it, because everywhere Bill O'Brien has been, he's worked under defensive coaches. So he got full autonomy in the offense. But now it's two offensive minds in that room, right? Talking about game planning. That is a plus for Ohio State. Also, we know Bill O'Brien, if he can say a couple F words to what do you call that? Tom Brady. Imagine what he could just go ahead and do with these quarterbacks, telling them, "Hey, F you, that was a terrible throw." Something that we said that we needed to see from a Kyle McCord, needed to be coached hard, needed a couple cussing outs and things like that, and not be a prima donna. So I think that this brings toughness to our room, another old school coach, and he understands the Midwest, man. I mean, he was up there in PA coaching at Penn State, man, hard-nosed football. So I'm with it, man. But this week, Ohio State's beat writers got to talk to the incoming transfers that transferred in, man. And I'll say the overall, before we get into the individual guys, the overall message, because you heard these beat writers continue to ask guys about NIL, and all of this stuff. And it's just like, hey, I'm like, don't count another man's pockets, right? You don't really, that's not something that you talk about. This ain't a business function right now. That's not something that we talk about. But everybody's saying Ohio State bought their class. And these guys are saying, it wasn't NIL. Why not come to Ohio State? I was at Alabama. What was not the next best thing? Oh, you got Ohio State and Georgia right now. So, I mean, why not Ohio State? It's an elite program. A lot of people would have told you this offseason Ohio State has no momentum, none of that. Ohio State's irrelevant, but look at these top-level transfers saying, no. Ohio State is not. Let's talk about Will Howard. When we talk about transfers, this guy was talking about how, Ohio State was saying, hey, pump the brakes. We're not going to get anything or give you no final answer. We need you until we give these guys a chance to show it in the bowl game, right? And they didn't show it. Obviously, guy getting hurt. Another guy just obviously not ready. I don't even think it was any fault of his. But you bring in a Will Howard for this QB competition. Now, some people are already saying he's a starter. I mean, I like him to come in and bring competition. Am I going to peg him as a starter yet? No, because I need to see it from Will Howard. I need to see it from the other quarterbacks. If it's not the other quarterback, so be it. I want the best guy on the field. And I also think having Bill O'Brien here as well, who has worked with quarterbacks, is going to be that other voice in the room where I don't think that Ryan Day is going to veto and say, where we heard about, the rumors about Ryan Day vetoing some other coaches and going with a different quarterback than what all the other coaches have voted on. So I think that that's a plus. Also, Will Howard, when he was talking about coming, he said it was really like Ohio State or bust. It was like I either go to Ohio State or I go take my chances with the NFL with being third to a 6th-round quarterback, which really, if it's third to three to 6, you're probably looking more on the 6th round, 7th round type of thing if that was the grades that you got, right? So, I mean, he feels that he can develop. And also, what everybody was telling me about Will Howard, oh, we got the running quarterback. Oh, this supposed to be like the JT Barrett offense and stuff. He's pumped the brakes on all of that running stuff, bruh. No. I came here to play a pro style. Didn't really like what they was doing at Kansas State. They had this whole playbook with just Will Howard run. That's what it was called. The playbook was called Will Howard run. He didn't like that. He's looking to be developed so that he can go to the next level and take what he learned to the next level. Kind of tells you these guys been hearing what guys like Justin Fields have been saying about a CJ Stroud. Imagine a CJ Stroud going out there winning Rookie of the Year and saying, man, it was harder at Ohio State playing quarterback than it is in the National Football League. That is wild, bro. So why not trust Ryan Day and what he's building? So Will Howard, man, next man up. It was good to hear him and see what he's saying. Also, man, a lot of people hating on Devin Brown, Lincoln Kingholt, but Will Howard also spoke how those guys invited him in the room but in previous where he was at Kansas State, all of these other guys, they weren't trying to help him. Everybody, was obviously competing and they were for themselves. But when you got some guys in the room and everybody just pushing everybody to be better, this is what we talk about at Ohio State, that iron sharpens iron. And the fact that they all just want to compete, that's what we wanted. We had one quarterback, he hit the portal because Ryan Day said, hey, I want to see you compete for the job again. I don't want to compete, sir. Skedaddles, this is not for you. And Ohio State has in their facility, we do not apologize for this. So why were we apologizing ever? Why were we doing that? So I'm glad that we're getting away from this. And then another guy, I tweeted about this. If y'all follow me, y'all know I tweet about this. These Ole Miss people told us that Quinshon Judkins, right, was all about himself. He was selfish, not a good teammate. No teammate's going to want to be around him. But that's not what I heard from him in his interview. When they asked him about having to split carries, you being the bell cow and stuff, what did he say? Nah, it's not really about that. I'm seeing things ahead, right? A guy who's selfish don't really see things ahead into the NFL where he's saying, I see what they're doing in the NFL where it's two backs and they're using two backs and, things wearing on my body in the future, how the NFL is doing running backs. That's something that Quinshon Judkins sees. He doesn't mind sharing the backfield with Travion. And he also said his decision came before Travion's decision. It didn't matter if Travion stayed or if he left. He wanted to come to Ohio State, somewhere where he can compete for national championships. So Ole Miss fans, y'all ain't competing for national championships. Y'all aren't known for a program like that. So if you're not known, get there. Get there. Don't be mad at a kid because he left you. Ole Miss fans, you got to do better. And then the one that everybody was hovering over, I think this guy is probably more shocked that Ohio State's media is so big. He probably only had to deal with a few people at Bama. Boy, this man was sitting there. All I kept seeing the whole time he was having his interview was just cameras flashing on his face the whole time. Our guy, Caleb Downs, the safety, man. And from what we hear inside of camp, guys, just like how Davis and Igbinosun came in and those guys in the cornerback room started fighting 10 times harder, I'm hearing about that in the safety room as well, guys. This is something, and our safety room I feel like was already good. But again, that iron sharpens iron. And Caleb Downs, man, shout out to him. This guy just seems cerebral, bro. He just seems locked in. He's not really all into the celebrity and all of that stuff. He just seems like a guy who's already kind of like on the Marv approach. Professional, just wants to get in, put his work in, and leave it at that. And just be a regular guy. He ain't trying to be a celebrity, throw his weight around or none of that. He just want to be one of the guys. And then he talked about OG Walt, man. OG Walt is doing in recruiting, bro. Now you got OG Walt and Brian Hartline. And OG Walt is the Brian Hartline of the defense right now. What he's doing in recruiting. And people was like, oh, well, Downs won't be in Walt's room and all of that stuff. Bro, Walt can still work with Caleb Downs. Some people don't even know, but on Walt's resume, he worked with safeties, man. He worked with safeties. Shout out to my guy Seaball. Shout out to my guy Terry, man. Like he said, hit that like button, man. And we also got my guy Keon in here. What's good with you all, man? Again, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So when we go live, you can be right here with us, chopping it up, man. We appreciate y'all coming in here. But yeah, back to Caleb Downs. I think that this is something that Ohio State needed. We have not seen elite and I'm talking about elite safety play. What, since Malik Hooker? Yes, Jordan Fuller was serviceable. He was good, was good enough to go, and he's an NFL champ, right? Super Bowl champ. Give him all that credit. But when we're talking about elite, we're talking about difference makers. What Malik Hooker was able to do every time he caught the ball, if you allow him to get an interception, if he was a danger to take it to the house every time. And that's what Caleb Downs is. That is a difference maker. One of my coaches always told us, because we used to get turnovers and get, defensive stops and stuff. And we was like, oh man, we're a great defense. And what he told me is you're not. You could be a good defense. But you're not a great defense. A great defense scores. So what we start trying to do, take them fumbles instead of jumping on them, start trying to scoop and score. Start trying to do things differently. Started working on, hey, when we do catch that interception, we need to go ahead and create a wall. Different things like that, man. And that's just what Caleb Downs brings. Also, what Caleb Downs brings is a dynamic returner in punt return, right? Something that Ohio State hasn't had since Jalen Marshall. This is something that we need. I don't want to see a Mecca back there no more. Shout out my guy Mecca, but I just don't want to see him back there no more. Let me see a Caleb Downs or someone else, a little bit more twitchy, a little bit more shifty, someone who got a little bit more moves, because Caleb Downs, back in his high school days, yeah, that man played offense too. He was nasty. So I like Caleb Downs. I just think the way he sees the field on the defense and offensive side of the ball, or you could say on punt return, just his field vision, that's just something that you just cannot. I believe that you can't really teach that. You saw Master T, he had issues with it. It's just something that you can't teach. I just feel like you have it or you don't. And Caleb Downs is just cerebral in that. And then we got to talk about Seth McLaughlin, center from Alabama, came to Ohio State, and, he talked about Fry. They put together a plan or whatever to work on his snapping issues. That's the biggest thing. But, guys, everybody's so focused on the Rose Bowl. Everybody's so focused on the 2023 season and things like that. But look at this guy throughout his history. He's actually been graded out as a top center or whatever before last year. This is where Fry can sit here and say, hey, this guy can sit here and say, hey, Fry might be a better O-line coach. This could help us in recruiting. He can say, yes, Fry worked on different things that I didn't know, that I didn't understand, that helped me get better. This is something that we're going to find out. Justin Fry, can you make this guy back into what he's supposed to be and not make those mistakes? So as long as he does that, I see him being the center. He does say that, hey, he's willing to play guard. So you got a guy who seems like a team guy. He also spoke on saying how he's used to change. He likes change. He said he feels he thrives in change. So even before Nick Saban said, hey, I'm up and retiring, he was already planning on hitting the portal. So it had nothing to do with Nick Saban leaving. And then I say the last one. I'm going to say I saved this one for last on purpose. But I think that people are sleeping on this transfer, and is Will Kermerick, tight end, coming from Ohio University. And I think that this guy could have been already playing on the Power 5 level, in the G5 level, if it wasn't for the Rona. YouTube like to do crazy stuff when you say that C word, so we just gonna say the Rona. I think that this guy is very underrated. I think he can come in and be better than Cade Stover. This guy does not shy away from contact. He likes to hit, and I think he's also sure hands. Also a red zone threat as well. I think we're going to see a lot of good things coming out of this tight end room. Jelani Thurman, G. Scott having reps. And I think that this tight end right here could probably teach our tight ends how to be that dog when it come to blocking. And that's what I want to see. Can he do it over and over with our defensive ends? I mean, if he say he not going to shy away from it, I want to see him, dog. Because sometimes, man, you can have all the talent in the world. You honestly can. But in football, it takes a little bit of heart. Well, not a little bit. It takes a lot of heart. You gotta be a different type of person, especially in the trenches. You gotta be a little bit kind of crazy, man, when you like to hit and want to hit somebody. So I like that. That's something that right here on this platform, right here at Best Damn Media, we all been talking about. We need those guys with a couple of screws loose, man. And then I got to talk about our guy, man. This is what some people are saying could possibly shake the whole room, man. And that is Julian Sain, 2024 number one quarterback, commits to Ohio State. I mean, he was supposed to be Alabama's 2024 commit. And here's the thing. He had a previous relationship with Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien is the one who recruited him to go to Bama. That's who he committed to. Bill O'Brien and Saban. That's who the guy wanted to play for. And flat out, he is now coming to Ohio State. Seems like Ohio State was number 2. Now, we didn't get to hear him in his rounds of interviews. Let me grab some water. Sorry about that. We didn't hear him in this round of interviews because, again, he's not counting as a transfer. They're just counting him as part of the 2024 class, bro. But now, everybody's been talking, oh, this could shake up the room, this could shake up the room. But this is something that Ryan Day has always wanted. Since he has gotten here, Ryan Day has said, I want 2 high-level quarterbacks in the same class. That's what he wants. And why is that? Because you want these guys, iron sharpens iron. I don't want them to compete against Chug. I don't want them to compete against Tristan Gibbia. I want them to compete against the best, right? And now Aaron Nolan and Julian Sain, 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks in the class, will now get to compete right on Ohio State's roster. And Aaron Nolan said, I'm not going nowhere. And I like that. I like that. And honestly, I think that this could set up to where possibly maybe a guy could play 1 year, be gone. The next guy could play another year. It's about the issue is these kids aren't patient. And the thing is, if you get drafted, if you just play 1 year a quarterback at Ohio State and you're actually good, your draft stock is going to be through the roof. Nobody is going to let a CJ Stroud go again. Nobody's letting that happen. I talked about this with Ohio State wide receivers when everybody was letting Michael Thomas go past. Then you let a Terry McLaurin go past. I said it wasn't happening again. No, sir. And what they do? Olave. What they do? Garrett Wilson. They said, no, not even bottom half. We got to get these guys quick. Difference makers, bruh. So shout out to Ryan Day for doing that. And everybody is sitting here saying, well, Ohio State's selling out on this recruiting class. And I'll say this, man. This class doesn't even equal the number 1 recruiting class with the transfers and all, right? It doesn't. Still, Ohio State is number 2. And everybody is saying this is natty or bust. And as an Ohio State fan, I would love to say it's natty or bust. But I'll say this to you. Nick Saban has averaged the number 1 recruiting class just about every damn year. And nobody's bust his balls when he didn't make it with the number 1 class or the number 2 class, right? Nobody's bust his balls. I mean, I understand he did it before, but just because if we didn't get it done doesn't mean that it's a failed season. I do believe that we have to beat that team up north. That is a must. That team has no momentum going on right now. Don't hear about them and no recruiting. All these, I hear guys then decommitted, committed to other ones. Guys who was top on their board and committed somewhere else. Not even looking at them. And, people were thinking that a lot of these guys were going to leave in the portal. And I don't think that the offensive guys will leave because you still got your head coach is that offensive guy, right? Still got him. So I don't see the offensive guys leaving. I do think that there's a potential for some defensive guys to leave. And I think that they're going to give the coaching staff a chance to the spring. And so that spring portal, maybe you can see some people leaving. But I'll say this, on Ohio State's roster, you will definitely be seeing some people leaving because I think that we are currently over the 85-man roster, man. If y'all got anything that y'all want to talk about, y'all got any questions, put those in the chat. I'm ready to talk about them. Make sure that you drop that in the chat. Join the discussion. Let's see what comments we got. Excited about the transfers, man. Shake up every room possible. And that's the thing. That is the thing. That is what made Nick Saban so great. Nobody's job is safe. And I want to use something at Ohio State. And this is why I say there's too much history at Ohio State to fail. Way too much. Because do you know that our band, you get 1 year scholarship. You got to compete for that scholarship again. You got to compete. It's not you was on the squad last year. Okay, you get a free ticket. No, you got to compete. And that's what it should be. Everybody should have to compete for their spots. And if you don't want to compete for your spot, then damn it, you obviously mentally don't think that you're the best. So when we get out there on the field and you lose a rep, you're just going to be defeated. Because you don't have that will to want to fight and continue to fight, bro. I'm telling y'all, we got to get this out of our program, bro. And I think that Ryan Day is seeing it. Also, let's talk about the president. I want to know. Let me know what y'all think in the chat, in the comments. What do y'all think about our new president and our new athletic department, bro? Our new athletic director. Because I've never heard at Ohio State an athletic director and a president seeming to be lockstep in what they want for the athletic department. The fact that our president is saying, hey, he wants Ohio State to be able to throw their weight around in these football discussions in rooms. We have not heard that from no president. Normally, these presidents are just like all academic guys. That's not what he's wanting. He is wanting football is king. Our athletic director said it, Russ Burke, and our president said it, President Carter. Shout out President Carter. That's all I'm going to call him, President Carter. So I'm excited about it. I think the first thing that needs to happen is they need to put a plan together to go ahead and get the facilities at Ohio State updated. But I guess before they do that, they need to fire Chris fucking Holtman, man. I'm tired of him. We're supposed to be able to watch something as Ohio State fans during the football offseason. And the basketball team is what we used to go to. Now, we knew we weren't going to be the greatest thing and all of that, but we was cool with that. Hey, you get us to an elite, to a Sweet 16 or Elite 8 every now and again, we're good. We're happy. We're satisfied. But building us up in the beginning of the year in basketball and then tearing us down and going on these losing streaks and getting beat by 30 to Northwestern, nah, man, we can't do that. Athletic director, you got to do something. Gene Smith, if you can't do nothing right now, the one thing that you can do is leave right now so that we can do something right now. So I see people saying stuff in the chat, man. Let's see. Our guy Troy V said, if you don't want to compete for your spot, you can go to Syracuse. Exactly. And that's the whole thing about it. And we should not be scared that somebody doesn't want to be here. If you don't want to play quarterback at Ohio State, you don't want to compete for that, it's not built for you. JT Barrett competed for that. Come on, man. Like, we've had guys compete for that. Who was with Stephen Collier? He stayed and even competed, bro. Dang. Come on, man. All right, who gonna be the 2 starting linebackers? Well, really, you already know the first one, Terry, man. The guy who is gonna be is definitely Cody Simon. I think he was the best linebacker out of Tommy and Steele last year. You talking about Jim Knowles switched the defense up instead of having the linebackers attack. They had to read and react, and Cody Simon looked the best doing that. Hopefully, it got to be CJ Hicks, right? I mean, I'm hoping that it's CJ Hicks. I need it to be CJ Hicks because I cannot take having another 5-star on the roster. Just sitting there, man. And we got some special guests in here, man. Let's add them up. What's going on, gang?
What up?
What up, Chris and Q? How you living? We just been over here. Yeah, we just got done talking about we were talking about the athletic director and the president being on the same page, how big that is for Ohio State and how we've never seen that. And was talking about the transfers and those guys. And the chat was asking about our linebacker situation and stuff. So
oh man, they're
back that's fair. I mean, honestly, on the basketball side, I hate Chris Holtmann. I hate that he has the same name as me. I hate his goofy little smile. I hate that he looks like an Alvin the Chipmunk grown up and turned into a human. I hate everything about Chris Holtmann, and I hate the fact that Ohio State has not won a true road game since the day after the Georgia-Ohio State football game last year. We're approaching the 400-day mark since Chris Holtmann won a true road game, and honestly, like, terrorism is nothing to play with. So that's why Chris Holtmann needs to be removed from our program.
For real.
Terrorism is not something you should take lightly. And I saw Gene Smith's punk ass giving a thumbs up to the camera. Nigga, take that thumb and go like this and eject that nigga from the program because all he does is piss me off. And during a Black History year, for him to let this white man ruin the program is beyond me. It's beyond me.
Ruin the black
I can step up in there. Chris Drew, I could step up in there and we would probably have a better road record than them because at least I would go get them to play like niggas. Like Chris Holtmann not only is a trash coach, he's a terrorist and he makes things worse. Chris Holtmann is the equivalent of what COVID-19 did to this country. Chris Holtmann is actually, you know what he is, bro? Like I have a new phone. And I asked somebody to fix it. And if I handed it to Chris Holtmann, you know what he would do? He would dip it in some water and say, I fixed it for you. Chris Holtmann, your bitch ass should have looked at me and said, yeah, I rock with the Locker Boys when I met you a year ago. But you looked at me and said, nope, not going to do it. And because of that, I cursed you. It's the Soldier Boy curse. It's the big Locker Boy curse. Look, true story. You, Chris Holtmann, I saw you at the dinner. And I was with my boy Zeke. And I looked at you. You looked at me. I said, Holtmann, can I get a pic? Can I get a pic? Because look, I think you're ass, but I'm your biggest fan. Like I always took care of the kid that was getting bullied. You were getting bullied at the time. I'm gonna help you, right? Take a picture. I said, Chris Holtmann, I would appreciate it. Me and Zeke would appreciate if you would co-sign a Locker Boys. And he didn't do it. And ever since then, he's been 2-pack of ass. I gotta go tuck my siblings and I'll be right back.
Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and weigh in on Holtmann. As a Maryland basketball fan, keep it trending, baby. Let's go. Hey, man.
I'm about to buy your head already.
Lifetime contract. That's what we need. That's what we need. I hope they promote that man to director of basketball along with head coach so we can't fire himself. That's the kind of energy I'm on.
No, Holtmann has to go, man. It's just like turning on the TV and watching Ohio State basketball during the offseason is like the one thing as an Ohio State fan that I had because like yeah, I got my favorite team in the NBA, but I don't really start watching NBA till like the playoffs. But like I like college basketball just because I like college sports because I feel like the guys are fighting for more, right? Whereas in the NBA, it just seems too finesse for me. Yeah. So I love watching college basketball. And the fact that if I see it on my TV, I just turn the TV off. Like, I'm not even watching it. I don't want it to pop up because I got, like, YouTube TV, and then it does the notification, and I don't even want to see it. I don't want to deal with it, nothing. even turn my notification off for basketball off my phone. It's that bad.
See, I think you two
That's
honestly
fair.
have been paying attention. When you take the Michigan blueprint of Jim Harbaugh, if you lose enough, eventually it'll turn around. You just got to have a little more patience with Holtman, and a natty season will come.
I don't know how you cheat
No,
in
no,
basketball.
no. Chris
How you
Holtman,
steal
no.
signs
So
in basketball?
Ohio State basketball is the equivalent of Akron football.
I know they had a
Damn.
team.
The Lady Bucks, they've been hooping. They knocked off Iowa.
There you
Nigga, be
go.
respectful.
That's
Nigga,
what he
you ain't know that
said.
was the number one news. That was the number one
Bruh.
news story.
Hey, man.
No, he giving them credit. He giving them credit.
Let's see, man, my old
That's
lady
a
neighbor
fact.
used to love
That's a
some
fact.
basketball.
Damn, bro. Hey, definitely. Hey, I hope. Hey, Terry, man. Sad that she passed away, but I hope that she hunts Hall Holtman in his dreams every single night, just chasing him through his dreams, bro. Yeah. So I'll say this. I want to ask you guys, man. The transfers is big. Everybody talking about we bought these guys, but these guys are saying that it wasn't really NIL. Like, if I wanted to go to another elite school, I was at Bama. If I want to go to another elite school, why not Ohio State? So talk about that. What do y'all think about these transfers?
I was surprised how soft-spoken Quinshon Judkins was, because if you listen to old Miss people, you would swear he was just a shitbag, dumb as a box of rocks, like terrible person, fucking gangbanger, hates his teammates, fucking leaves ammo all over the locker room. Like, they fucking turn on this kid like crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And he's just a soft-spoken kid who's a dog on the field, who's hyper competitive and wants to win games.
So you see, Chris, I was a little disappointed he wasn't the gangbanger, cause the coach out rob a dude in the streets. Cause I'm like, that's what this locker room needs. Like, to be honest, team needs some juice. But but let me stop. But yeah, man, no, as far as the transfers go, bro, I think we did a slam dunk job. Obviously, we haven't got to talk about it in a little bit, but finally, the Ohio State program has some juice. Me and Chris were just talking about it. Finally, we have some momentum. Finally, it feels like Ohio State is being Ohio State. It's like it's like if you're a billionaire, man, don't be that billionaire who no one knows who you are. You dress like a homeless man. Like, we need to come out, big chain on that spins. I need my whip. I need 2 joints getting out the car everywhere I go to dinner. Like, be that billionaire. And that's what I need Ohio State to do. I need them to flex their muscles. And it finally feels like the time where it's like, oh, wait, we're Ohio State. Like, we got bread. We can compete with everybody. So I'm happy to see it, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, hey, all the Ole Miss fans was like, he punched his quarterback. We was like, damn, we needed somebody to punch Kyle McCoy
last year.
Like, that's what we need, man. So what do y'all think about what do y'all think about Will Howard saying that it was Ohio State or NFL? That's it. That was his only option.
It's funny because, like, I know he was committed to USC until Miller Moss went crazy.
So we got a capper.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean,
Ryan Day 2.0.
Full of cappers. Yeah, I mean,
Ryan Day 2.0. Lion Day.
Hey,
maybe Miller Moss is actually just like that, where he's like, yo, I'll have a better chance in NFL to start for USC. I don't know, I'm just saying. But yeah, that's probably a little bit of cap, but it's surprising. It's like, okay, he feels like he could play pro, but it kind of speaks to the development here a little bit. That it's like, my stock is going to jump so much if I get around a Ryan Day, a Bill O'Brien, that I'm willing to forego a year of money, because now I can double down on that money instead of 3rd through 6th round. Now maybe I'm 2nd through 4th round, something like that. So it speaks to the development. I mean, I don't know if Will Howard will win the job. I feel like it will be a battle again, and we'll go down with Chris's guy Devin, and we'll see there. But you got to feel good about the competitive nature coming in, knowing that we obviously know Devin Brown's here, and we're gonna see what happens. But you gotta feel like he's happy. You gotta feel happy that he's here.
For sure, man. That's all I was saying, man. Just happy that he's here, and like you said, to compete for the job, and that's what we're hoping. And I just, like I told the folks earlier, I just think with Bill O'Brien, I don't think that we're going to get that Ryan Day vetoing on the quarterbacks and stuff like that. And I mean, when you look back at it, I want to ask you this: with what y'all seen or what you know of Bill O'Brien, which quarterback skill set fits Bill O'Brien better?
It's hard because when I watched Zach's breakdown, obviously of Will Howard, I seen a lot of things that I feel like Devin Brown can do, but we haven't quite got to see him do it yet. Like obviously he was hurt all last year, and we didn't really get to see him perform. But I feel like we got an older version of maybe the same guy. Like I feel like Devin eventually will be a better passer than Will Howard. I mean, Will Howard's not a great passer, 4 years in, and Devin was a number one. We always forget like Devin was a number one quarterback in the nation out there slinging for 4,000 yards. So I feel like both of those guys fit his style. I mean, I know Bill O'Brien likes a guy who can move a little bit. I mean, we saw what he did with Bryce Young, but you got to be able to make big time throws. So I feel like we don't know if either of those guys can do that, but that element has to be there. So they got to pull it out of somebody.
What about you, Chris?
I told myself I wouldn't do this year, guys.
My bad.
I like them both.
Chris, man.
In the middle,
Hey, shout out our guy Mike Green said, "My guys, niggas, what's poppin'?"
Hey, Mike.
What up, Mike?
Ain't Mike out the streets now? Wasn't that the word? He was taking his name out the streets. We lose
Mike
the
is
real
on the
one.
streets. Congrats, Mike.
Oh man.
And Devin Brown's a better skill set for Bill O'Brien than Will Howard.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're going to have some tight end battles, man. And we got Will Kamarick coming in, and it looks like he's going to be tight end one. Everybody in the fan base is ready to see Jelani Thurman, and I'm a big G. Scott guy, but I'm not going to lie, from some of his effort that I've seen late in the season blocking, it's kind of hard for me to defend that. So what do y'all think this tight end room is going to look like going forward?
I would love to see all three guys. We've seemed to get like 1.5. Like we seem to get one guy and a little bit of multiple guys. But I feel like at this point, Jelani Thurman has to play. He has to. There's no way you finally get a big time tight end prospect. You got to put him on. It's almost like wide receiver, like with Jeremiah Smith. You got to put him on the field. Like who's gonna come here? Because dude's gonna be like, well, if he can't play, how am I supposed to go in there and play? Like, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
like that. You telling me that nigga right there can't play, and I will never play. I will end up like Jake Siebert.
Hey, it's funny enough when I was watching Zach's breakdown of Quinshon Judkins, and we got to see the linebackers play. And what's his name? Linebacker for LSU. I just forgot it. We just talked about him.
Harold
Perkins. That's it. Man, he was watching. He was like, I think Perkins might be the best in the country. And I'm like, will Perkins play here? To be honest, the way we use him, like I'm actually thinking because Mike, this is what I thought the whole time I was watching Perkins play. I was like, I feel like this is CJ Hicks if he was used properly and actually played. This is what this reminds me of. So it's too funny, I feel like
if Harold Perkins played at Ohio State, he would have been the backup to Steel Chambers, and we would have asked him to play just like Steel.
Literally, I feel like if CJ Hicks isn't our other starting linebacker, bro, we have a development issue big time at linebacker at Ohio State again.
There's no other name for it. I mean,
it's been terrible since Luke Fickell left.
This nigga Mike sent me the link to make me emotional, bro. Chill out.
Nah, man, we big up in this transfer, man. So also everybody's saying Ohio State QB room is shaking up. How are you going to get 5 quarterbacks, all of these reps? And we heard about last year, I want to say, what was it, in fall camp, they were able to use 2 football fields. They're obviously going to have to do this with the 5 quarterbacks, right? What do y'all think about this with Julian Sain, number 1 quarterback in the 24 class coming in?
Well,
Yeah, Chris, you probably know Sam. Go ahead, Chris. You probably know Sam better than I do because I didn't think he was coming here. So I didn't.
Sam's
I
a
didn't watch.
monster, bro. He's a freak. Real good player. Real great player. Really excited for him. He's gonna get the reps. It's gonna be him and Lincoln battling for those QB3 reps. I think two battles will take place here. The young guys will battle on one field, and the old guys will battle on another field. That's how they have to cut it up. That's the only way you can get guys reps. Because like last year, like when fall camp started, Lincoln Keenholz, from that moment on up until after the Wisconsin game, didn't get a single second team or third team rep. He was only getting scout team. So they got to battle it out with the young guys on one field and let the old heads battle it out on the other field. So it's like, look, Jay-Z and Nas, y'all got this part. Lil Baby, Da Baby, and Baby Tron can go rap over there. That's how they got it going for real.
I agree with that. That's what I'm hoping that they do, man.
Yeah.
What about
so
you,
I got a
Q?
question for y'all. So early prediction battles out of these three young guys now, not the older guys, because that'll figure itself out. But out of these three young guys, who do you think makes it out the den? I mean, obviously, we know Air's competitive. He was coming here. A lot of people like Air. I feel like he's a little more developmental, so he'll need time, but also he has time because he doesn't have to come in and compete for the job right away. Lincoln, we've seen the talent. He just was completely not ready to play. Like, I think Ohio State did Lincoln a disservice by not getting him any reps throughout the year. But then we also got Julian Say, who's now the big dog in the room by ranking. So who do you think comes out of those three and sticks around?
I think Sane's going to stick around, man. From everything that I'm hearing about him, is how accurate he is. I think that's going to be the reason, like, Ryan Day ends up falling in love with him, because it's the same things that we were kind of hearing about CJ Stroud, right? How accurate he was, how his ball placement, things like that. If you're going to get that out of Julian Sane, you're having flashbacks. It's like, why not? Why not? So, and, I was talking earlier about this, and I honestly believe, like, I think the guy should stay, because the way that this could possibly shape out, it could mean, like, all of these quarterbacks could be 1 year and gone. And that's all you really need in this offense.
Yeah, that's facts. Facts on that way.
I mean, yeah, I feel like the staying part is also too with the development of now you have Bill O'Brien and Ryan Day. Obviously, Corey Dennis was really, under Ryan Day. He didn't have a lot of experience and he was learning on the job. Bill O'Brien's a guy who's been doing this for a while. And you can say what you want about Alabama and their offense. Bryce Young surely looked damn good, under development of Bill O'Brien and his offense. So I feel like staying a year and giving it some time to develop, even if you end up going somewhere else, is just a service. It's almost like, this is why when Chris, you talk about this a lot, pulling in two guys in a class for quarterback because it's such a delicate position. It's like, would I rather go someplace like a Kentucky, maybe have a chance to play maybe a year earlier and not get developed by somebody who's known as the best in the country? Or would I rather go to Ohio State, maybe wait 2 years if I don't play? I'm literally ready to play if I'm getting reps, even as backup, as soon as I walk out that room from the guy who's known as the best to do it in the country. So I feel like, I don't know really who's going to come out, but I feel like even staying here, even for Lincoln, another year, don't transfer out, get that development, is a worthy ticket to pay.
Right. And before we move on, our guy Mike, appreciate the two. Missed y'all motherfuckers, no homo, man. you good. And
Mike, you gotta tell us where you going for the wedding, man. Give us the deets, man. We need to know.
Yeah, Mike
Q definitely trying to crash. Q definitely trying to crash that.
It's in the West Coast. I might have to pull up.
Yeah, and then Mike, appreciate the 5, man. Fellas, old Billy going to be punking the shit out of Ryan Day. Bitch, we ain't passing in the red zone. Hey, man. Honestly, I think, because Q, you know how I was about the Bill O'Brien. As soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh, hell no. I think I messaged Chris. I was like, please, let's not do this shit. But honestly, if you could take the strengths from a Bill O'Brien offense and then take the strengths from Ryan Day offense, I really think that this is a great marriage. No homo. Yeah. But I really think that, it is perfect for each other. I think that there are some things that Bill O'Brien just does better than Ryan Day, and there's things that Ryan Day does better than Bill O'Brien. And one thing that we don't think about is the fact that Bill O'Brien, basically almost everywhere he's been able to just run his offense solo dolo.
Yeah,
That's not still going to happen. This is still Ohio State's offense, right, guys?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
This is Ryan Day's offense with a couple wrinkles. I'm pretty sure.
So I mean, I think this offense should be elite, and definitely, I want to say we look better when we have a quarterback who's moving his legs. Let's just say that.
I just talked to Chris about this, and I thought this was Bill O'Brien's probably best trait when he was at Bama is just using guys' traits. Like we talk about Ryan State offense, and we know it's very pro style, and you kind of got to do everything well. But it's like we also let J-Mo walk out the room like he was the most dynamic guy in the country. Like you saw what Bill O'Brien did with him, Jahmyr Gibbs, like insert player here, insert Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, Travion Henderson. If he is using traits instead of making guys fit into a box, this offense can go up another level because when's the last time we really had a guy where he's like, man, he's explosive. We're using him the best of his ability besides Xavier Johnson, who was a great player here, but he's a walk-on. Like scholarship guys are plentiful around here with a lot of talent. So if he brings that, I am all for Bill O'Brien.
For sure. And you brought up the great point about like how he used J-Mo. And it's like, why do these, and I've always said this, why do these guys got to be complete wide route runners? Why aren't you just able to use their skill set and let them maximize to the best of their ability? And I think that's something that, Bill O'Brien is going to bring out, man. And I think also I heard Judkins. I think he wants to be used more in the pass game too. So seeing him or Trey get out there in space.
For you. Well, here, fun fact for you. So in the 2 years that Bill O'Brien was the OC at Alabama, year one, Brian Robinson had 35 catches on 40 targets, I believe. And then year two, Jahmyr Gibbs had 44 catches. So he's a guy that instead of funneling those to the tight end, which is kind of what Ryan Day does, he'll funnel those targets to the running backs. And that's important, especially when, Cade Stover is getting 50 targets and Travion Henderson is getting under 30. Those are real numbers. Again, 50 targets for Cade Stover.
I don't know if this is a real stat, but I would say each of those guys probably had more catches than everybody on the Ohio State roster, not named Marvin Mack and Cade. Like everybody else combined.
Yeah,
probably finished with less catches than those guys put up in one season, probably in their career.
No, you're spot on.
I want to ask you guys, man, before we get out of here, man, what will Bill O'Brien bring to the wide receiver room? Because, a lot of our fans out here just believe that Brian Hartline is, even though he's a young head coach, they believe he's perfect, that he knows everything, and that he can't get better in coaching. But we see aspects in our wide receiver plays and things, especially the blocking, where they can improve. Do you think that this is something that Bill O'Brien will help Brian Hartline in, or are they gonna butt heads?
I might have
to I'm waiting on it, man. I'm waiting on it. Are they gonna butt heads?
I had to still a line I heard on Minutes one time. A lot of people here think Brian Hartline basically walks on water, and I'll say it's probably because he can't swim. Like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. Brian Hartline is great. He's great at getting certain guys to develop. He's great at getting guys to run routes, but this offense is just lacking the little things that would make it just that next level. I feel like Bill O'Brien being a pro guy is like, nah, I'm not going for that. I don't have to manage the whole team. I don't have to get caught up like Ryan Day. Like my job is to run the offense, get the quarterbacks right. And if you're not blocking the perimeter, if I cuss Tom Brady out, who is Brian Hartline and Tom Brady? Like I'm just saying,
wait.
So your records in Miami don't mean nothing here,
bro. Like the way he cussed Tom out was crazy. Like, do you know what he said to Tom? You know what the conversation was, Q?
I know it. I know what it started with.
Look, Tom Brady said, yo, you got to go get that after throwing a pick. Bill walks over and hears this exchange and looks at Tom, looks at the receiver, and just looks back at Tom and says, Tom, fuck you. And that's all he said. Not a that's he just opened up, oh, fuck you, Tom. And then that's what started the explosion.
That's hey, bro. If he'll cuss Tom out, bro, he'll cuss his own mom out. That's all I'm saying, bro. Hey, him and Junkins in the locker room. Hey, bro, it's a whole new team.
That's what I'm saying. We need that, man. Hey, honestly, bro, I hope to hear that there's a couple of fights in in winter workouts or in mat drills or something like that. I'm hoping to hear about a couple of fights, couple of those, and I hope we handle it like Dion handled it. Let him go. Let him go. Hey, Mike out here blessing us, man. We appreciate you out here. Appreciate the 5. It's going to be in Florida on the yacht. Come through. I got y'all. My girl is Capervian?
Aberdeen?
I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, you got to break that one down for me.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of that.
But it sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
it sounds expensive to me.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds sexy. I can tell you.
Yeah. No. Y'all got anything else? Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about this 2024 off season?
Dang, I had a question for Chris. I just forgot what I was going to ask you.
I'm probably about to get on stream here in a little bit and start bullshitting with the guys. So everybody in here should just jump in Discord or jump on Twitch. I'm about to be just bullshitting, playing some games. Gonna fucking call Ron, talk some shit, and talk about Mariah Mills. We're gonna go down the Mariah Mills greatest hits on stream today.
Yep. And definitely follow us. I believe Ron has right here below. You can check Ron out at 2_T's. Check him out, man, because he has the Discord link, I believe, in his bio on the X app. So make sure y'all check that out. Join us in the Discord because, like Chris said, he's going to be doing his streams there. And then we're also going to want to watch some of these highlights from these transfers. So coming up either later on this week or next week. So be checking us out on Discord, man. Hey, Chris, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Give me your gamer tag.
You can find me on Twitch at Menace to Sports.
Hey, Q, what about you?
Inbox Chris on the hub.
Yeah, see, did you friend request me, Q?
No, yeah, I had to, bro. I had some content to send over.
Not too much.
Wait, what's your username on the hub on Pornhub?
Yeah, bro, it's Fly Ned Johnson. I ain't hard to find, bro. The Oscars is coming up. We got to make room for these films.
Mike said, I told y'all Billy is a thug. And Mike said, what's y'all gamer tag?
I was like, I don't have a gamer tag because I'm a game.
I'm on.
Hey, Mike, I'm about to jump on Pow. I'm about to jump on Pow World.
I don't even know what that is, bro. My gamer tag, I'm on Xbox, but I don't really play, so ain't no point in even. I'm waiting on NCAA.
Mike, quit being
I don't even know what that is, bro. Like, I don't even know what that is.
But get on it. You ain't gonna know until you hop on there.
Q, where the people can find you at, bro?
Hey, well, you got a little thing. There it is. It's right there. I'm Fly Ned Johnson on everywhere else but Twitter or X. Also on the hub, and then I'm City Boy Quentin on Twitter. So not hard to find, bro. Not hard to find at all.
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter or whatever the X app at 216_wildboy. We appreciate y'all again. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we are out.